Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Mythical Misfortune here for another anime fan theory for you guys. This time I'm doing Fairy Tail. I know it's mainstream and everything, but it's one of my favorite anime slash manga out there. And of course, for those of you that are anime only, I'm sorry, there are a little bit of spoilers here and there. And for those of you that keep up with the manga, trust me, I think we might be on the same page. If not, I'm sorry for assuming. Moving on. Okay, so one of my ideas that I had was creating another picture just like in the Grand Magic games, like where on the fifth day or the last day, where after all of their fighting, Urza, Loxus, Godchill, Juvia, and Gray were headed to Sting because he was the last person there able to fight, so they were the last person they needed to take out. And then there was this epic picture in the manga as well as the anime where they're just all standing there defiantly looking at Sting ready to fight. And he's just like, you guys should be ready to kill over, yet you're so ready. And he just gave up out of, I guess, some type of weird mixture of fear and admiration. But you should create the same picture during this Zeref Fairy Tail War, or Zeref versus all the guilds along with Fairy Tail. Was this Fairy Tail's main problem? Was Zeref trying to go after the crystallized Mavis, who is alive but not alive? You should recreate this during this war. Now, how and why and who should be a part of this picture? The how is it should be against one of the Spurgian 12, who is Zeref's 12 commanders of his new army, who are extremely strong, as we've seen in the manga. And the why is it's the perfect opportunity for this, in that it has that we're wrapping up this manga type of deal, and to go out like this would be perfect. Now with the who is really where everything gets interesting, because it should be the S-class mages of Fairy Tail. Now of course there's only 5, but now everybody probably doesn't remember all 5 S-class mages. There's Gildart, Loxus, Urza, Mirajane, and Mixagun. First, starting off with Gildart, we've never seen him go all out. And seeing in the manga as strong as these guys have been in the Spurgian 12, it would be perfect opportunity to come back with Gildart, who not only trained Natsu in the year time skip, but also has just basically been wandering around for 2 years and just training himself and doing oddball jobs to make sure he gets money. But he's also been getting stronger himself. So now you have an even stronger Gildart. There was a time during the whole Grimoire Heart arc where they were on the island where Gildart fought Blue Note, and it was kind of lackluster because, he got his power taken away because of the tree that's connected to all of the members of Fairy Tail, as well as, when he got it back, it only took one uppercut to beat him. So it's mixed feelings with something so lackluster. But when you have something like this presented to you, you should bring one of your strongest guys in here to toy around and give him an actual fight. Just give him the fight. It doesn't have to be against Acnalugia, who's here, because we already know through both the anime and the manga that basically he has a mechanical arm, and though that metal around his stomach because Acnalugia almost killed him. And of course he would probably be afraid of Acnalugia because of this, but that's kind of why, just when you see it, he sees Acnalugia after defeating one of the Spurgian 12, it's like, oh crap. And then Acnalugia would be like, I'm not here for you, I'm just here for the young dragons, blah blah blah. But that would also be kind of cool too. But you bring back Gildart and let him cut loose. That, I think, is what every Fairy Tail fan would find amazing. And then you bring back Mystagun in somewhat of a cliche way. You can make it funny, and it's really easy, especially with the stuff that Machinima's pulled with Ultir showing up against one Spurgian 12 commanders that Sharia and Wendy are fighting right now, as she's apparently takeover mage herself too, and she uses god takeover of a time god. So because of that, Ultir has shown up, and says, I am only here because I am in existence of time, and that's why I'm here. Which doesn't really make sense because, well, now, after which you see her as an old lady, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? So, it's just, if you can come up with something like that, you can bring Mr. Gun back, because it practically writes itself. Mr. Gun comes back the same way he left Edelos, tells everybody, I can sense when Fairy Tail's in trouble. I still have the crest, so I'll always know when Fairy Tail's in trouble. I know when my guild mates and my friends are in trouble. Make it a little bit funny by doing a foreshadowing, because Mr. Gun is Edelos Jalal. I just left my wife Urza, Edelos Urza. We have kids, and poke a little bit of fun of that, as well as a little bit of foreshadowing of that. And then you have all 5 of them there. Just, I know that Loxus is in a fight, but surely Wendy will have enough strength to heal him somewhat. So then you just get that picture of, them kind of sort of beat up, and then they're all lined up. You call in Mira Jane over, and then you have all 5 of them. Gildarts, Loxus, Mystagun, Urza, and Mira Jane. All of them just lined up in one badass picture, ready to fight. And that would be so freaking cool. And I think a lot of Fairy Tail fans would like that. I know it's kind of sort of something that's been seen, but then you also get Gildarts to go out. You bring back Mystagun, who you can also see go all out now. You've seen him do certain feats, but you've never seen him go all out. You don't really know what all of his magic is. You kind of seen examples at best through the Edelos arc and through his one little move that he used against Loxus during that one arc where Loxus just locked down the guild, and he had basically everybody had to go find him before he would destroy the city, which he really wasn't planning on doing. He was just basically being a brat before he got expelled from Fairy Tail. Yada yada yada. As long as you're a Fairy Tail fan, you really know this. I'm sorry, I know I'm doing the yada yada thing, but this not to push away any fans that aren't really into Fairy Tail like that. This fan theory is predicated on you already being a fan. If you're not a fan, you haven't really seen Fairy Tail, you can understand it. It probably sounds awesome, but just by names and everything, I suggest you guys go read, watch. Well, damn, that's a lot of episodes and a lot of chapters. Well, do what you want. But going from there though, it's so perfect, especially with this feel of the manga slowly but surely getting ready to wrap up. We can dive into how Natsu's probably going to end up fighting the god that the curse belongs to, that is currently the curse upon Zeref, that's also currently cursing Mavis, which ends up saving all 3, because as we've already learned in the manga, if you kill Zeref, you kill Natsu. So you cannot kill one without the other. So it kind of just ruins the whole thing of Natsu beating Zeref, which is okay. But you also get the feeling of, well, worst case scenario, they kill Natsu because of the fact of the whole Na-Li versus Na-Lu argument. Natsu should be with Lisanna. Natsu should be with Lucy. Yeah. You know what? I know how to solve all of this. Natsu kills Zeref, and Natsu just goes away. That doesn't solve anything. That makes everybody mad. But of course, that's this worst case scenario. How does he defeat this god? Also, this is part of theory. How does he defeat the god? I don't know. Maybe he activates some special god, dragon, demon god form. Basically, just I'm a true slayer now of everything. I can slay gods. I can slay demons. I can slay dragons. And it's all, of course, fire. But it would also be cool, though, if that lightning pertained to everything. In which case, it would be that whole lightning, fire, dragon, demon, god slayer. Which would also be kind of very long. So somebody would need to come up with an acronym or something like that for him. Either I'm just a lightning fire slayer now. Beware. I can kill anything or defeat anything. Which is more than likely what it'll lead to with the whole shonen thing of having OP characters in, Dragon Ball, with Goku being Super Saiyan God. Then there's Ichigo, who's basically God and being part human. God, what are they called? He's part Vestalorde. God, I don't know why I can't remember what they're exactly called. He's also part Quincy and also part Shinigami. So yeah, he's essentially God. Then you have not somebody like Naruto, who inherited God's powers to become godlike, so he's a demigod. So it only makes sense that you would make something similar out of Natsu. Maybe not in the same way, but close enough to where he can fight this god to save everybody and get the happy ending that every fan wants. And I'm pretty sure Machinima is going to do that. But the build up to it, from having Mystica and Guildarts there, as well as the epic fight that'll happen with Acme Lugia before the fight with the god, will just be picture perfect. Of course, you have some casualties here and there, because with the way that it looks, either you're about to find something to cure Loxus, or the tragedy of this is that everybody's going to lose Loxus because of his whole magic deficiency disease, I think it is, or the bad magic anti-magic particles disease is what he has, which has infected all of his vital organs, and he has basically bad heart attacks here and there. So either you're about to find something to cure him, or he's probably going to die after this, or he's going to have to live with very bad heart attacks. More than likely, they'll just figure out some type of way to cure him. But the average thing would be to say, hey, I'm learning to live with my heart attacks. It's getting easier every day. I'm feeling better every day during a time skip. But really, once you defeat the god too, it's kind of, what do you do from there? Well, you can do a tournament thing between all the other guilds to say who's really the best. You can do a thing where you do a time skip to see who ended up with who, see their kids, kind of like what Naruto did. The only thing I would probably say to that is I just not to fully take from that. You don't need to make another manga series out of Natsu's and everybody's kids in Fairy Tail. Just because you can if you want to, but I don't see a point. But the main gist of this theory, or more so, not a theory, but just something I want to see, just bring back Guildarts and Mystigun. It's such a good opportunity to bring back your two really strong wizards that we never got to see their full potential. And to at least see their full potential somewhat, you extend your chapters, you earn more money, you build more characters for yourself to where you build more of a following, because as you've already done in Fairy Tail, you have all these characters that are so lovable, so recognizable that you're like, oh, well, that's even from the other guilds like Jura, Sharia, Sting, Rogue. And even if you don't remember everybody, you remember their powers. And then, of course, you have everybody in Fairy Tail that you can easily remember, like Gray, Juvia, Gagio, Natsu, Lucy, Urza, Guildarts, Loxus, Wendy, the whole gang. And then, of course, Makarov, who's the master right now. And, of course, who can forget Levi, who really rose in prominence, by the way, from a character that nobody really thought was going to be something when the series first started, as well as the manga, to somebody that slowly became a mainstay, especially with her love interest being Gagio, which is actually pretty cool. So, with these opportunities to show off these characters coming in to help, as well as other opportunities with outside of the whole S-Class unite thing, you can have Mystigun fight alongside Jalal, because then you have Edalos Jalal with Earthland Jalal, and that'd be really, really cool. And then you could have little quips back and forth with that, and that's really cool too. You can have Guildarts fight alongside Wendy, because Wendy's never really seen him fight like that, except for the island. So she really doesn't know that much other than that. So that would actually be a good opportunity to bring him there too. Or you can bring him in front of Juvia, who's never really seen him fight or his magic at all. So on and so forth. This is a good opportunity to have interactions with these characters, as well as to show people, and then also the whole thing with her Wendy of repaying back Jalal, who she thought was Jalal, but it's actually Edelos Jalal and Mystigun, to be like, hey, I never got the opportunity to thank you because you found me there and you pointed me in the direction of a guild, or you were the one that first told me about Fairy Tail. So there's still that little part of backstory too for Mystigun to show up there. Or for Mystigun to show up in front of people that join the guild that don't really know him, like Gajil and Juvia. Well, guys, and like that's pretty much my opinion on my little theory, as well as what should happen with Fairy Tail going forward. Let me know what you think about everything in the comments below. If you liked it, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Comment and subscribe if you already haven't. Until next time, I'll see y'all next time.